So here we are at Bitcoin Conference 2026.
We never really even talked about money growing up. It was all about you gotta make money, but nobody teaches you how to keep that money.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 173. My name is Jake, joined by my regulars, Zane, Nick, and Alden. Y'all, it's been a very interesting week for me. We're going to get to that here in a minute. But before we do, Zane, what are you drinking tonight, my man?
On the old rough and ready Blue Moon.
All right. Nick, what do you got? I see you opening something right there.
Yeah, I got another bottle of meat I had laying around the house because I'm scrambling right now, and I hopped on a meeting right before this, so I didn't have time to make dinner or figure anything out. So we're going with this tonight.
Need calories.
Love it, love it. Alden, what you got?
I got a High Life and the Jameson, the triple, the like 3-barrel finish or whatever with like sherry and 2 others. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I've got some of that. That's good.
It's not bad. Yeah.
I've got 4 Roses single barrel tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, so that's the best you could come up with. The best you could scrounge up in that hotel room you're in.
Well, I traveled with it. I'm trying to get these guys as a sponsor, but
that'd be cool.
Yeah, aged in ore. Great product.
I need a better flask. I'm using my same flask that I had when we were in college, Jake.
Don't use those flasks.
That's Chinese metal toxic.
I guarantee you they're moldy and they're just leaching.
Well, it's not moldy because I keep only alcohol in it, but
no,
it's not good.
Somehow it's still moldy.
No, he's just aging it even more.
Yeah.
He's doing it on purpose.
Perfect.
Extra flavor.
It was a heck of a week for me. I was driving down with all my gear to go to Bitcoin conference. I got a press pass this year, so I was going to cover the event and do everything for all 3 days. And in Pocatello, Idaho, my truck broke down for the second time on the trip. And I spewed a half a tank of diesel all over the cars on the road everywhere.
Oh my God.
Shot everywhere.
Why? What went wrong?
Dude, the whole fuel system failed. And
that diesel's worth more than gold these days.
No, that was like an $85 spill on the highway for me. And yeah, we took the truck in, dude. It was wild. Took it to multiple mechanics shops because half of those mechanics were shut down. Ended up at the freaking dealership where they're now quoting $10,000 to fix it.
Oh my God. Is that more than you paid for the truck?
I paid $12 for the truck.
I was going to say, it's right around the price of the truck. So, I'd say that truck's totaled,
It's you would think so, but I looked on used cars and stuff. Like, dude, there's nothing out there that could haul what that truck can haul that I could get for anywhere near $10,000.
It's a shame too because the
trucks are
engine that's in that
expensive.
truck will last another fucking 600,000 miles or something if you take care of it. So,
we take care of that truck too. It's just very frustrating. So I don't
take care of everything except for the fuel system. Apparently,
guess so. I don't really know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Failed and
really failed. If it's spewing fuel, I mean that's like a genuine. That's not just like a pump failed or something. That's like a line severed. I don't know what happened to that.
But you think if it was just a hose, that's the hose.
It wasn't a hose. It wasn't a hose. There was a bunch of different things, and like fuel was getting inside the engine. Like inside where like it was mixing with the oil and everything.
I was gonna say into the oil reservoir. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
So anyway, needless to say, I was late to Bitcoin conference. We didn't get there till midway through the second day. So I only got a day and a half of footage, but we're going to go over a lot of that tonight. We're going to go over some really interesting panels, a couple good interviews, and we're going to get to the free samurai stuff here in a little bit. So I think there were a bunch of panels that me and Nikki attended. Nikki was my reporter. I was the cameraman. And
you had to put a friendlier face in the interviews.
Dude, I cannot tell you how much better it is to have Nikki pulling in interviewees than me. Like, everyone who came into an interview was happy and cheerful, whereas when I bring them in, they're dreading and kind of terrified because I look angry all the time.
Well, for one thing, all your hair is on the wrong half of your head.
You should see his ass.
That could be right. Cheddar Sheet said, "How do you pay the tow truck? Can you use Bitcoin for that yet?" So really, AAA paid for the tow truck. I didn't have to.
Nice.
It was AAA, so I didn't have to worry about that. But all right, y'all. Let's chat about Bitcoin. So yeah, in case y'all didn't know, Bitcoin Conference 2026 was held in Las Vegas this year. Next year, fortunately, it will no longer be held in Vegas. It will be held in Nashville again. So we're going to be hitting it up again next year. We're going to have a whole press pass again next year and do it up. And we're going to get some really good stuff there next year, which I'm excited about. But we'll talk about the general conference more, I think, next week. But for tonight, we're going to analyze a few videos that we took while we were there.
You know how we love to analyze.
We love to analyze, especially Alden. Everybody loves to analyze Alden.
So this whole thing's about Bitcoin. So for this segment, should I just go make a sandwich, or?
I think you should see how much you can drink by the end of this segment.
Oh, don't. Yeah, that's a bad dare.
Fair enough. All right. Let's watch this first one. This kid is Ben Gen Z for BTC. So if you go on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram, it's Gen Z for BTC. He was the youngest kid on this panel. It was Zoomer to Boomer, why each generation needs Bitcoin. And this kid was not only hilarious, he was very poignant and probably had the best things to say out of all four panelists. And I mean, the funniest thing is he kept calling the guy on the other end, the far end that you can't see right now. He was just like, yeah, you old people, and just kept saying you old people over and over again, and just was calling anybody over like 40 years old people. It was crazy.
I mean, if he was talking like a Zoomer, he should be calling him Unk.
Fair. He's a little more respectful than that. But here's something he had to say that I thought was awesome.
I think my generation, a lot of the kids have great ambition to do great things in their life, but they have no direction with that. They see Bitcoin as just an investment when it comes to fiat monetary gain, and they don't really internally understand what it is and how much it can provide for them without even looking at dollars. I think if people really understood the tool that Bitcoin is and how much it will provide, and that it's the first of its kind, people will be able to utilize it so much better. So I would say we really need to work on educating about Bitcoin, and that it won't make you millions of dollars in 2 years from now. That it will provide you with skills and an understanding of life that will make you rich internally, not externally.
I love that. And
I like
think,
that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm interested because Zane, he's from your generation. This guy had a bunch of great things to say. I'm interested in what your thoughts on what he just said was.
Yeah, well, unlike all of you old people, I know what it's like to be a part of this generation. So first off, I think it is really important to point out to people that everyone who's peddling these Bitcoin get-rich-quick schemes are full of it. And it just gives the entire project a bad reputation.
Yeah. Because
people who aren't complete idiots know that whenever they see a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a fraud. And so if you go around saying invest in Bitcoin and you're guaranteed 10x your money in a year, well, people will say, well, that means that Bitcoin is a fraud, which it's not. But when that's the way that you communicate it, that's what people are going to think, especially when people don't really even understand the underlying technology very well. So they're like, it's a fraud internet money that I don't even understand anyway. I'm not dealing with it, and you're stupid if you think that it's good to use. But this is also why, like, I stress the importance of monetary policy whenever I talk about Bitcoin. Like, I don't even try to touch the technology side. For one thing, I mean, I understand it myself somewhat, but nowhere near as well as you all do. I
thought you were going to say you, Alden, and I was like,
I thought you were going to say Alden.
Yeah, I was like, I'm the last person.
But if you just explain, like, 1 out of every like 3 or 4 US dollars that are currently in existence have been created in the past 5 years. I mean, that in and of itself just explains the magnitude of the issues with the US dollar. Like, all of the things that people say about why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin because it's just like made up money and no one knows how it works. All of those criticisms are way more applicable to the US dollar itself.
I know that much at least, yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is I did think that it was interesting that he was almost trying to give like a spiritual component to Bitcoin, where it's like invest in Bitcoin and that process will make you like internally wealthy,
yeah.
Which I think that he was hitting on something like there is a huge crisis of meaning among the young people. And this is why at least all of the headlines I'm seeing, maybe I have a very biased echo chamber telling me this, but at least from what I'm seeing, this is like why Zoomers are going to church in higher numbers than their elders are. This is why they're like trying to like emphasize meaning as opposed to just endless consumption all the time. And I'm not fully convinced that Bitcoin is really going to do that, because I would definitely like say that you should invest in it. And definitely if you have a good like amount of money in Bitcoin, that's going to make you independent of the system, and the system is wanting to keep you without meaning. So I would say that probably investing in Bitcoin would help you do other things to find meaning in your life. But I don't think that in itself is going to be what is going to do it.
Well,
so what I think, sorry, Nick, let me hop in real quick. So what I think he was more referring to is you were hitting on like the people selling Bitcoin as a get-rich-quick scheme, which the four of us know that it's not. You have to be disciplined in order to keep stacking sats, and you have to gain a whole bunch of knowledge of economics and the economic system. And
it's a get-rich-slow scheme.
It's a get-rich-slow scheme. There we go. And I think what he's more referring to is you'll acquire a bunch of attributes and learn patience and discipline and economic responsibility and a bunch of different things that will enrich your life in tandem with growing your Bitcoin wealth. And so I think that's more of what, at least from what I understood, that's more of what I think he was referring to. Not holding Bitcoin itself will make you more like internally rich. It's the skills you acquire along the way, because at that point you are your own bank. You have to learn a whole bunch of information. You got to learn. You have to be very disciplined, and that's something that I think a lot of people struggle with these days. So yeah, sorry, Nick, I interrupted you. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to touch on sort of the same thing. I agree with what you're saying, Jake, but the crisis of meaning, right? I think that's a real phenomenon going on there. Zane's hitting it right with you're seeing, Zoomers attending church in higher numbers, and I think that does correlate to the money being fake, right? Like you spend your time working for this money, and it's fake, and you can't get ahead, and prices go up faster than wages, and college used to be the go-to, like, yeah, you go to college, you'll get a good job, And now, I guess even before that, right? Like it was, hey, you go to work in the factory, you'll make a good wage there. You don't need you don't have to have the education, but you can raise a family on a manufacturing salary. And then then it went to, everyone wanted their kids to go to college, right? You step up there, you get the better jobs, you get more pay by doing that. Well, everyone has a college education, and the value of that is greatly diminished. Unless you have a degree in a specialized technical field. And but regardless, what you're doing is you're working for a money that is fake and gay. It doesn't, it loses its value. Like Zane said, $1 in $4, $1 in $4, $1 in $5 has been printed since 2020. And as you realize and see the effects of that money flow through the system, drowning you out from being able to buy a house, start a family, get financially comfortable, while the boomers are out there, giving themselves tax breaks after accumulating all the wealth in their multi-million-dollar McMansions. I think you do start looking for some other meaning, and I think part of that comes down to, okay, well, if I can live or accumulate in a system that does have some value, that isn't at the whims of what the banks and the federal government want to do and how they want to spend us into oblivion. I think that at least allows that opportunity there. I mean, you spend most of your day, a good portion of your day, at work trying to earn those dollars to come home and to pay the bills, to keep going, to survive. And I mean, I don't know what gas is like for you, but ever since this Iran war, it went from $3 to over $4.30 a gallon here. That's just like, it went from costing me $50 to fill my truck up to costing me $70. Yeah. That's kind of a pretty big hit right there.
Yeah.
All over.
Really.
Yeah. So the boomer plan of life, the boomer religion, you might even say, was go to college, get a job, go to work, get money, buy a house, repeat, and then have all your grandchildren pay for your Medicare. But it's like, when you pass that on as your religion to your children and your children's children, we're at the point where that doesn't work. So it's like, okay, the boomer religion is no longer working. We've got to try something else.
Yeah.
And for some Gen Z people, it's just utter detachment and despair. And even for others of them, it's, actual religion.
And even jobs that were good not too long ago, right? Whenever I was in college, 2010 to 2014, I was at a big computer science school. Those guys come out of school making $200,000 a year. Everyone's employed. And now look, I've been developing some apps. I think Zane may have seen one earlier today that I sent him that I built in the past couple of nights, just because AI makes it so damn easy to develop your own software these days. Right. Yeah. So you kind of, I think you're also seeing that, which is requiring you to either take a service job in something, learn a trade that always has a requirement, or figure something else out.
Yep. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. I'm trying to fix something on my end.
Yeah, you froze up there while I was talking. And I'm like, am I off base here or something?
No. You're spot on. I caught the end of it.
Just all three of us go completely stone-faced. Nick, that's the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
All right.
It's amazing what you can do with Claude now. It's absolutely wild, all the stuff I'm seeing day by day they're releasing.
Yeah, no kidding. So you're completely right. I think we've talked about this one because that wasn't a long clip. I would recommend following that guy though. Gen Z for BTC. That guy is super smart and very much into Bitcoin, which I dig. So let's move on to the second. Yeah, let's move on to the second video. Alden, you'll actually find this more interesting.
Okay, no, it's all good.
One of the best things about Bitcoin conference is it attracts a bunch of people that are into Bitcoin, but also have their own niches. And so there was a bunch of like privacy-based things, security-based things, like homeschooling and families and things like that. And so
human trafficking and drug dealing.
Human trafficking. We were trafficking people at the conference.
That's what people think Bitcoin conference probably is, if they have just let the mainstream media tell you about it or whatever.
Well, here's the OPSEC panel, and I'll let these guys take it.
All right, awesome. Thanks, everybody. So I want to start with the state of play because things are moving pretty quickly. They're changing rapidly, and that means that a lot of the advice that you hear in and around podcasts and conferences can get pretty stale pretty quickly. So I want to take a quick snapshot of where we're at. So Open State, you mentioned that you have worked inside government on policy. What's the single biggest thing that's kind of coming down the pipe in the next 12 months that people in this room should be aware of when it comes to their privacy?
Just one, or can I go for two?
Well, let's see how long you take with the first one.
Well, the bad news is that regulators are usually about 2 to 3 years behind. And 2 to 3 years ago, we saw the emergence of decentralized finance and non-custodial solutions, right? Non-custodial wallets. And the bad news is that regulators now are wise to this. So when I was in government just a few months ago, I left about 6 months ago, I saw all of the initiatives that were focused on hardware wallets, unhosted wallets, DeFi protocols, smart contracts, right? Non-custodial solutions. And that is the target for anti-money laundering regulation this year. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some pretty heavy, ban hammer coming down and squashing privacy there. But the biggest issue, so it's not just bad news, there's also terrible news. The terrible news comes on the tax side. There's a new initiative called the Crypto Asset Reporting Framework, and it's set up by the OECD, and it's a global standard setting body, right? So you don't have any say on what it does. What it does is it requires crypto companies to record your personal data, the data on all of your transactions, and to send it to the state, and it'll be shared with other countries for tax purposes. It's completely going to squash privacy, and they want to implement this for DeFi, decentralized finance, and non-custodial solutions. There's actually a Wayback Machine FAQ that you can look at to see exactly what they want to do. So it's coming, it's horrible, and we need to push back or at least be made aware that it's coming.
All right, thanks. Naomi, Seth, what about you guys? Like, what's changed for you in the last 12 to 18 months that's kind of altered how you approach your own, towards your own privacy? Naomi?
Yeah, so I have some counterpoints there. Well, not really counterpoints, but yes ands maybe. You talk about how they're going after DeFi, they want to apply these things to DeFi. They want to. The whole value proposition of DeFi is there is no choke point to go after. So when things are truly decentralized, that is the solution here. We're not asking for permission, and we never expected governments would agree with this stuff forever. We knew this was coming, which is why we've been building out all kinds of decentralized infrastructure so that they can't dictate what we do with our finances. We just don't recognize their moral authority in being able to make those choices for us. So that's why DeFi is important. So like I see the coming battle too, and I think we should be prepared for it, but I also don't think that we should be overwhelmed and think we can't win. We can absolutely win, and it's about building that underground railroad of tools that allow our freedom even when authoritarian regimes come down and tell us we can no longer do with our money what we want to do. So we just have to remember the power that is in this tech and kind of lean into that. I've done some work on the legislative side too, so I helped write a bill that was released in the House on Thursday, federal privacy legislation, that basically says if the government wants to do a search, they need a warrant, which is pretty simple. And I thought we had a Fourth Amendment that already said that, but apparently we need a bill to define what a search is, because for a long time governments have been carving out all kinds of areas where they say, oh, well, this isn't a search. We're just querying Google's database. That's not a search. We don't need a warrant. Oh, we're just querying our own database that we filled with all the data we bought from data brokers. That's not a search. So the bill basically just defines search. No, this is a meaningful investigation of a personal thing, and you need a warrant if you want to do that. You need judicial oversight. So on that front, I hope that people will reach out to their representatives and say, please sign on and be a co-sponsor of the Surveillance Accountability Act, because as far as I can see, this third-party doctrine carve-out that the governments are currently operating under is absolutely atrocious for privacy. The carve-outs get larger and larger every year, and we are just ballooning towards that panopticon. And so we just got to rein that in real quick.
Naomi Brockwell is now going to be known as the Harriet Tubman of Bitcoin.
Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
So to answer Chuck and Money's question, we're actually going to get to Ryan Long a little later. So yeah, we'll get to that. But so with the first guy, I forget this first guy's name.
It says Seth for privacy up on
that's
Seth is the other guy in the middle.
Oh, is it? Okay, so it just had a blacked out silhouette, and I thought that would be him because
there's so many of those.
Well, that makes sense in this.
This guy is up there wearing a balaclava, but he is still a panelist at a very public event. I'm not sure what the point of the balaclava is.
Well, do you know what his face looks like, Zane?
Yeah, do you know what his face looks like? Yeah, neither do they.
It's the same reason we all wear pants, Zane. We all know we have dicks, but we don't have to display them, you know?
I think he said his name was Open States or something.
Open State. Yeah, that's what it is. Open State. So the dude used to work for a government. He doesn't say which one.
He sounds Canadian.
He does sound kind of Canadian. He also, at times, he sounded like Eastern European during the whole panel.
Is he just switching his accent on purpose for fun?
He honestly very well could be. But so one thing he was talking about is like legislators are generally 2 to 3 years behind the curve on like new technologies and things like that. And decentralized finance started really blooming like 2 to 3 years ago, which means we're in the time now where they're going to try to really regulate it. And we're seeing that, which we're going to get to some of that with the Free Samurai stuff here in a little bit. And I think I just realized, I think I did misspell it, even with the wallet. So
there
whatever.
Okay, yeah, because I was like,
maybe
the
OU is right. I think there's an A after the R.
Samurai, AI, yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's
I actually think the OU is wrong, and it should be AI after.
We'll get there one day.
I'm pretty sure that it's spelled with the OU.
Okay, we'll get to it.
This first guy's point about the privacy reminded me of like the news recently about the whole like the Glock bans or whatever that's happening in Rhode Island and what other shitty states, whatever. But and the argument is like, oh, because you can take a Glock and put a switch on it and you can augment it into something that's illegal, we're gonna ban the whole platform. And this is like, oh, because you can use privacy for like, you know, whatever, like ill use or whatever, we're gonna put the kibosh on the whole thing just because a few people can do this thing. It's like it's like the Minority Report, but less like specific. Not like we know you're going to commit a crime. It's like we know you could use this to commit a crime. So we're gonna just negate the whole subject. Like it's so annoying.
Yeah,
that's very anti-liberty in general,
dude. So much so, and like, yeah, I thought that this topic would be more up your alley, Alden. Like the using laws in ways they're not supposed to be used, and classifying things together when they're actually separate, and yeah, having an underground railroad, which I know Alden probably.
I had more to say on this, just in like the philosophy of it or whatever. Yeah, I still don't know anything about Bitcoin really.
Yeah, but you don't need to know about Bitcoin to know about what, like, the generalities of
your own rights and privacies and things like that. And yeah.
Zane, I don't know. What are your thoughts on what either Naomi or Open State were saying?
So, I tend to have a hard time assimilating bad news that doesn't affect me directly, because if I did, then I would just become a doomer instantly. So I just hear it and it's like, oh, well, I guess that's not good. Moving on. Because like me personally, I mean, I definitely have some Bitcoin, but I'm sure whatever platform that I've acquired it from probably was not like the super privacy focused ones to begin with. So it's just one of those things where I have already not taken the precautions that I would have needed to really prevent people from tracking it down. So it's like, okay, they probably know about it. Not really a whole lot to be done.
So I would actually argue, after going to this conference, I would argue there is stuff to be done. and me and Nikki are going to do it because we're in the same boat. I started buying Bitcoin long before I understood like the technological level of it and understood how to obfuscate what like my purchases and keep like my Bitcoin from prying eyes and from all these idiot KYC laws, know your customer laws. But after attending a couple of the workshops at this conference, dude, there are legit ways in order to make your Bitcoin disappear in the eyes of the governing bodies. And so, yeah, I plan on doing some more research and implementing those very soon.
Even just running it through Lightning increases your privacy much more than main chain, because you can't tell, and especially if it's done through Taproot, where you can't see the transaction up to Lightning as anything different than a standard Bitcoin transaction. That was the issue with Segwit, is you could tell the difference there. Taproot fixed that, so it looks like a standard transaction to go up to Lightning. And then once it's in Lightning, I think what the exit nodes maybe are maybe a little bit of a possible target. But
I would have thought Lightning would have damaged the wallet.
Yeah, you'd think. But there's that. There's some other ways, and I mean, as we continue down to get into the weeds, as you continue down to these concepts like ARC and these other things that are talking like sharing, splitting a single
atom,
not a single atom, not a sat,
Satoshi.
What is it? No. Why am I blanking on the term?
A Bitcoin.
No, a single on whatever, a single UTXO, a single as you talk about as technologies let people kind of divide UTXOs amongst themselves, yet still have full exit capabilities. There's some interesting privacy abilities there. I can't believe
all right, so
UTXO.
Jake and or Nick, but probably Jake, because Nick is not going to be able to meet my requirements here. I also don't like doing things that are very difficult and inconvenient. So if you had 2 minutes to explain to me what I should do to acquire Bitcoin in the most private way that I can, what would you tell me to do?
Go to the app HODL and exchange directly with another Bitcoiner. Done. HODL acts as a escrow account. And so it's an ACH transfer between you and another individual, and they act as an escrow account. They hold the money until everybody says that, yes, it was completed, and everybody gets the transaction that they requested. And so it doesn't show up on your bank account as anything relating to Bitcoin. It just looks like you're transferring money to another human being, and they're giving you Bitcoin in return. So that would be the easiest way to do it. There are a few others like that. BISQ, B-I-S-Q, is like that as well. And there's a couple more that are popping up now. But HODL seems to be the easiest one to do that with.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. That was actually simpler than I expected. So
the other simple thing you could do.
This is going to be longer than 2 minutes. This is why I didn't ask you.
No. This was actually going to be a very simple one. Is that use a wallet that generates a new receipt address every time you use it.
What is the receipt address? The address where you send it to.
Yes. Right, because if it generates a new one, they're all tied together under the same XPub, so they derive from each other. The wallet all recognizes it as the same thing, but from the chain side, any transaction, if you're coming off of an exchange, you're seeing this go to this address, this go to that address, that go to that address, and then whatever addresses you use for stuff coming off of an exchange, don't use those same wallets for anything you exchange, human to human.
There we go. Under 2 minutes, Zane. How do you like that? Two options you got there.
These are very simple. They're not an either or option. These are a both and option.
Yeah, and there's also even more. You can obfuscate it even more with a couple more simple steps as well. So it's not. It used to be. So 5 years ago, if you'd have asked that question, it would have been far more complicated, and it would have been very frustrating and annoying.
We'd have been talking about mixers and stuff like that.
We'd talking about mixers. We'd have been talking about like meeting up with people in person at Bitcoin meetups and stuff like that. You don't have to do that anymore. And here's, Nick's talking about X pubs while Alden, all he wants to do is talk about pubs.
I was going to say, I heard pubs and mixers. Like, do you see that It's Always Sunny scene where they're going to a place and people are just drinking juice and soda? And Charlie's like, why are these people just drinking mixers? Like, it's so good.
That's so good. All right, let's get to another clip that Nikki and I recorded. Let's see. We'll do. There we go.
So learning about Bitcoin was what ended up helping me save and be free in a way, because when you start saving in a money that cannot be taken from you, that is sitting in a bank where you're literally borrowing that money to random ass people, because that's what the bank does. At the end of the day, the bank, they hold your money and they give you interest rates or whatever you want to call it, which is literally just a little bit less than inflation. I would say
a lot less than inflation.
A lot less than inflation.
Yeah.
And they lend it out and then they make money from it and they replicate it. So it's like a full-on mess. I suggest you guys read about fractional reserves. It's insane. But yeah, the banking system is kind of fucked. So at the end of the day, learn about Bitcoin, go down the rabbit hole yourself, because it at the end of the day, maybe you don't agree with it or you do, but I look at it like it's one step closer to being free at the end of the day and stepping out of the system.
That's my favorite. I want to take it out on save and be free.
All right. So that was Isabel Santos. She got huge on X for getting into Bitcoin. She was a journalist originally and went to a Bitcoin conference and started interviewing a bunch of Bitcoiners and was basically converted to like full on into Bitcoin at the conference in Miami like 5 or 6 years ago. And she's done work, I think, with Bukele down in El Salvador and just done a lot of great stuff revolving around Bitcoin. And she points out some of the things that we talk about on this show a lot, which is the banking system is a travesty, and like the fractional reserve banking is one of the worst aspects of what happened after the Federal Reserve was created.
It actually was happening even before the Fed.
I was going to ask if
but I don't mean to get us completely derailed by a discussion of late 19th century monetary policy.
I mean, no, hey, Zane, can you do it in less than 2 minutes?
Okay, so before we had the Fed, so we had the First and Second National Bank. The Second National Bank was the one that was really famous for Andrew Jackson vetoing it, and a bunch of Federalist big government people got really upset. But they were not doing this to the extent that the Fed does now. But they were still, what the National Bank would do is like make it possible for all these like different banks to lend money, and then if they got in trouble, they would be essentially like guaranteed by the National Bank. And so they made a bunch of loans to finance a bunch of stupid projects that they wouldn't have if they didn't have the safety net of the National Bank behind them. And so then that went away because Andrew Jackson was like, you're just using this to give rich people a bunch of free handouts. Stop. And so it went away for a while. And then in the late 19th century, we got this kind of like 3-tiered system of like of banks where literally the definition of what it meant to be a bank at the top of this 3-tiered level of banks was that you had to be in New York City. So that should tip you off to the fact that like something wasn't quite right about it. And
yeah, no kidding.
That really they were just trying to concentrate power. But it was the same thing where it's like you had the reserve city banks, which were all the huge banks in New York City. And then you had city banks who had to have accounts with the reserve city banks. And then you had country banks that had to have reserves with the city banks. So they were all kind of pyramided on top of each other. Them all like having...
Gosh, what a scheme, you know?
But so, and the purpose of
like
this
a
was
pyramid.
to allow the most amount of lending each other money to inflate the loan market as you possibly could. But it still did not approach the level of coordination that you had with the Federal Reserve, because once you got to the Federal Reserve, then that was the point where you had one central authority controlling the entire money supply. And so
you
the
have
reason
12
why
regional
you
federal
can't-
banks.
No, that was 2 minutes. Zane's done. 2 minutes is up.
I was about to make a really good point.
Make your really good point. Do it quick.
The reason why if you have like decentralized monetary authorities, the reason why you can't inflate is that suppose you were a bank and you were just issuing a bunch of your own money backed by nothing. If you were lending that out and the people that you were lending it to went to deposit those notes at their own bank that wasn't yours, then when the other banks got the money, they would turn around and try to deposit, like cash them in, so to speak, at the bank that issued them. And so if the bank that issued them had issued a bunch of pieces of paper backed by nothing, all of their gold reserves would be quickly cashed in by the other banks that weren't inflating as much. And then they would go under. They would have to stop. They would go bankrupt and be unable to continue operating. When you have one central monetary authority that can just inflate the money as much as they want, but there's no ability to cash it in somewhere else, then all the banks can get in on it, and they can all expand the money supply together and get rich off of loaning money that they don't really have. Because even if their customers go to a different bank and deposit the money, it's just at another bank that's using the same inflated currency as all the rest of them.
It's the same pool, basically.
Okay, I like the point. You ended up taking 4 minutes to explain the whole thing, so we're going to take that time away from you during trivia. So we're all going to get an answer correct automatically, and
well, then that's the same as if we
Yeah,
all
that's
get
the
it.
same- yeah.
No. The audience is not going to get it correct.
Oh.
Just we are.
Okay.
So this actually just punishes the audience.
Yeah.
They were punished enough with the 4-minute explanation, you know.
Zane coin. Right.
Look, monetary policy.
Zane coin, backed by logic. I love it. All right. Let's talk about one more video from the conference before we get to the samurai folks.
Did we find out the spelling of samurai yet?
It's wrong. Samurai.
So it's like the regular spelling of samurai. I told you this was wrong.
So someone spelled it wrong at the conference then. 'Cause that's what I had. Okay. Here's one about homeschooling. This was about families and instilling good discipline and economic sense into your families. So here you go.
Quote, kids aren't expensive, you are. I'm totally going to go home and tell my wife that one.
I bet that'll go over really well.
Maybe I'll phrase it, it's we instead of you. But one thing I love to double click into, you mentioned homeschooling, Katie, and I'm trying to convince my wife to do the same thing. And my mother is very set on putting her in Montessori school. And, it's a debate we talk about. But I do feel now with these AI tools that you can use them to build custom curriculums, make storybooks with your kid in them. It's never been easier to, educate a child, assuming you know what you're doing. So I would love to hear how both of you think about educating your kids, things to keep in mind. Anything on that?
Remember how I said I got humbled many times? So I'm not going to say that I'm for sure going to homeschool my kids, but it is the plan. And I was wondering, like, for the last 4 years, I've been putting together the Figma board of like different curriculums that I find, but now it's useless because there's AI that is helping me so much better than my Figma board that I've been gathering for 4 years. I think this is going to be a great tool for mothers to help us build those curriculums. But I'm going to give mic to Justine because she's actually...
I homeschooled my eldest. So I think homeschool is great. What I'll say is that she's in public school now. I'm going to age myself, but she's in high school now. And she wanted to go to public school. I think homeschool is wonderful if you have the community, and also it depends on the temperament of your child. I probably will not homeschool my son. He is extremely social, feral, and needs to be moving constantly, and he needs that outside enrichment. But I think that we do have choices now. Near us, there's a farm school where they're out like helping with the chickens and the goats, and while they're learning things. So something like that might be a good option while you're also doing at home as well. So I think homeschooling is an amazing resource. I do just think the most important thing about parenting is that your child's temperament is going to decide how things work. You might think you have the perfect plan. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. You know, why is this child not going along with the thing that I'm supposed to be doing? And when you realize the temperament of your child should be really what's guiding you, it makes it all much easier. So I think homeschooling can totally work for families. I do think community is really important though. And I think when kids get to a certain age, those outside community members do matter. I think it's silly when people say they have to go to daycare because the kid needs to be socialized at like 6 months. The kid doesn't need anyone but their mother at 6 months. But at some point, yeah, like our peers are important, right? The greatest thing is though, you can decide who your peers are. As a parent, you should be deciding who your child's peers are. And so whether that be homeschooling or choosing the education that works best for your family and your child, it should be a top priority for you. You should not just be choosing because you live in that district. That's where you're going to be sending them. I think schools are unfortunately ran by the same people that we have issues with the medical system and the military system. The industrial school complex is not really looking out for us. It's that blanket treatment. So it's important to stay informed. Yeah.
Love that.
All right. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of nieces and nephews. And so I think about like what my family members are doing with their kids quite a bit. Like I don't have any kids myself, but it's interesting to me to see how each parent operates differently and how, like what their plan is. It's like me personally, I'm on like Katie's side where if I had kids, the plan would be to homeschool. Like that would be the ideal situation for me, especially, I mean, we live on a mountain in the middle of nowhere, so getting to a school would be tough. But
it could be another way of looking at it if you were to take in the consideration of like what the other woman was saying of like, depending on your community and what you have, and like, do you have other homeschoolers in the area that want to join you? Then that's one thing. And if you don't, then it might be good to get them off the mountain and go to school once in a while to like get different like social interactions and get different disciplinary styles and stuff like that. And I think the thing with homeschooling is like, you don't have to just homeschool. You can go to school and then be like, yeah, that's cute and all what you learned in school, and we're also going to cover this, and challenge your notion of what you learned in school a little bit, and kind of keep tabs on what they're, because sometimes the government program like syllabus for what's going on in school is like, for math it might be fine, and then for another subject it might be a little biased or wonky or whatever. So
yeah, you can go to public school, but when you get home, we're covering late 19th century monetary.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And now the Zane period begins. Like, yeah.
I do like what she said. Like, it's interesting to phrase it in the way she said at the very end, where it's like the same people who are in charge of the school system are also in charge of the monetary system and the war system and the food system and the Medicare system and all of the medical system. Like, and all these things we're upset with. So why would we trust them with the kids?
Do you see who's involved with the McGraw-Hill like textbooks and all that? And
yeah, man,
wild
stuff.
It gets weird.
Yeah. So
hang on. Let Nick go.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. There's the Michael Malice quote, right? Public schools are literal prisons and the only place most people experience violence in their lifetimes.
Yeah. Yep.
There's that. And I'm not saying it's always wrong. You know, that's always wrong. And I it's not like I judge anyone who's using that. I mean, you're forced to pay for it already, and if it's the right fit, it's the right fit. But you should be always looking at options, and seeing what's best, right? I mean, I was in public school a couple years. I didn't really like it, and I ended up in private schools. But
I went to some pretty rough schools for a while, actually, and yeah, it can get bad. Depends on the school. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Are kids just like, are they doing the same thing anymore, or is that like just like, how common is it to be like the classic 80s movie high school bully anymore? Like, are kids just like toned down now, or?
At least when I was in school, bullying wasn't really that big of a thing anymore. Maybe I just wasn't the target of it. Maybe I just didn't see it happen.
If you weren't getting bullied, Zane, then
it's toned down. Yeah, I don't mean to be mean about. I don't mean to be the bully tonight here, but yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
That was the perfect litmus. Thank you, Zane. You answered all my questions. Yeah.
No, see, I went to a high school where it actually was cool to be smart, so...
Wow.
Interesting.
I was extremely popular in high school, kind of.
Oh my god.
I don't even know...
I had like 4 friends.
What? We didn't have a single nerd that was popular in our high school. Like, not one.
Maybe infamous, if they were hung on a flagpole or something. Like.
Yes, it was more like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I did think it was really important what she was saying about the community support and why it's so bad that the state has made it impossible to lean on your community to educate your kids. Because in a lot of states, it's different from state to state. But in a lot of states, they'll be like, yeah, well, I suppose you can homeschool your kid if you want, but it has to be you. It can't be anyone else. Really? So like what a much more tenable arrangement for a lot of people would be is if you had like 4 moms and they all like did 25% of the schooling. But in a lot of states, you can't like have that, because then if you're like teaching more than just your own kid, or if you're not doing at least 51% of the teaching, then it's no longer homeschool. It's like you're running the school, and then you get in trouble because you're not licensed. And so
then you just don't tell.
What the state has made impossible essentially is like community school, where it's like you and a bunch of people that you know all come together to educate your own kids. That's not
the classic one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. I like that model. And yeah, Alden, I agree with what you were saying earlier. Like the goal of what we're doing up in Montana is to have a plot of land where a bunch of like-minded people are living. And so like one of my best buddies, him and his family, they have a plot and they've got 2 kids. My brother has 2 kids. Like there would be a community where you'd get other people than just your parents or just your siblings to interact with. I
think that's one of the more valid parts of like sending a kid to school, quote unquote school, whatever that is, like just out of your house some of the time, is to like learn how to meet and deal with other people and handle different personalities in the world. And like there's a lot of learning going on that has nothing to do with books. That's just like, honestly, I'm not trying to defend bullying or whatever, but like you can learn to get a little bit of a thicker skin, because like, when is your mom gonna bully you? Well, I don't know, maybe my mom. It depends.
Yeah, Alden, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, as soon as I said that, I'm like, actually, you know what? That's the way maybe it should be, but I don't know. But no, so
not bullying, like
most people,
maybe some sort of rite of passage sort of thing.
Yeah.
What they're commonly be called hazing in these days because it's more soft.
Yeah. But no, it's like the social
go off on that.
side is
So
important too.
Cheddar Cheese says, I plan on looking at the options of giving public school a chance before charter or homeschooling. I mean,
it might depend on your school.
I don't have a problem with that. Like where I was in Dunwoody, Georgia, most people were doing public school because that school was actually good. And I think they're few and far between, but I think it can happen.
If you choose to live in a place with a good district, then you're already paying for it, so it's probably worth it. If it's a shit district, you can give it a try, but if it's not meeting your needs, then alternatives, right? I mean, there's not anyone here. I don't think who's going to condemn anyone who's saying this works best for us. best for our kids.
Yep.
And for the person,
I mean, there is such a thing as getting a good education at a public school. It's just not common, and from what I'm hearing, getting it more and more difficult. But it is possible.
Yeah, and if you're the kind of person that's like concerned that much that you're like looking into it that closely, and you're like, what do these schools offer, and do we need to go to charter, or do we need to look at Montessori, or do we need to do whatever? Like, you sound like the kind of person that's involved enough that you'll fill in the gaps yourself, probably, and you'll be setting your kid up well because you fucking care, actually, which is the most important thing. I think is just have a parent who cares. Like,
yeah, if you're treating it like, okay, this is the daycare option while I'm at work for the kid,
then
that's a whole different scenario.
Exactly,
then I'm looking at the options, and I think this might work.
Yep, I agree with that. All right, we're gonna get into our next topic, our completely misspelled topic, which is Free Samurai.
Samori, yeah.
You're only missing an A at the end. That's it.
There's also a bonus O.
Okay.
I looked it up.
On the
okay.
Alden loves a bonus O.
It's incorrect. All right.
I'm not even sure what that means. But...
Okay. We're going to listen to Angela McCardle talk about these folks. She came to Bitcoin Conference to advocate for crypto prisoners. So here we go.
Tell us who you are and what brings you here.
Sure. My name is Angela McCardle. I'm the former chair of the National Libertarian Party, currently the chair of the National Mises Caucus, and I am here advocating to get several Bitcoin prisoners free.
Amazing. So tell us more about that.
Sure. So there's Ian Freeman, who is locked up right now in a federal prison for having an unlicensed ATM Bitcoin machine. That's right. Didn't scam anyone, didn't steal anyone's money. It was a regulatory gray area, and he's been locked up for 8 years.
Wow.
Going on 8 years, not 8 years yet. You have the Samurai Wallet developers, Keone Rodriguez and William Hill, each serving 5 and 4 years respectively for creating a non-custodial software tool, a Bitcoin wallet. Didn't touch anyone's money. They're not money transmitters. Didn't scam anyone, didn't steal anyone, totally nonviolent. They're literally just programmers.
And this has to do with privacy, is that right?
Yes,
is that
it's
why
a
the
privacy
government
tool.
came after them?
It's a privacy tool. And so Roman Storm essentially created the same thing for Ethereum. His tool was called Tornado Cash. And Roman Sterlingov, 2 Romans, was accused of creating the Bitcoin fog mixer, which is essentially the same thing. However, he didn't actually create it. He's just the only user they were able to track down.
So with the Free Samurai guys, what was the legal reason, the legal jargon they used to arrest them?
Essentially that if you intended to create a privacy wallet, you intended for someone to use it in order to transfer money from one place to another. Therefore, you should have gotten a license to be a money transmitter, even though licenses for money transmitters are meant specifically, and this is according to FinCEN guidance, which was issued in the case, money transmitter licenses are for people who transmit money, not for people who write software and never touch money.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So a weird loophole,
Well, I mean, I would say that it's there's no law on it. It's not. Some people might refer to it as a gray area. It's just a totally blank space. It's a tabula rasa. There is no law. They sought guidance from regulatory agencies. They got guidance. They did their thing. Prosecutors, especially in the Southern District of New York, really have an axe to grind against Bitcoin, against cryptocurrency. They don't like it, and so they look for every possible opportunity. I mean, the analogy they used was a frying pan transmits heat, and so therefore they use like really incoherent analogies. Ultimately, what this case really shows, and same with Tornado Cash and same with Bitcoin Fog, is that you can be totally in compliance with the law, and if someone in a position of authority really wants to go after you, they will find a way.
Yeah.
So you're saying there is no law, which means this is the equivalent of the ref letting Airbud play in the basketball game and then being arrested.
Yes.
We were like this, right? This was how we were a second ago.
I have no idea. I thought usually I'm on the bottom left, but whatever.
I was gonna say I don't know if that's right, but I don't care if it's wrong.
Yeah.
No, I think that's right. Y'all hush your mouths.
Typically, I'm on the bottom left because typically my camera over my screen covers me. But
I care more about the spelling of samurai. But
yeah.
Okay. Alden needs to be booted. How do I do that? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
No, you had me right. It was in the right spot when I was in the ether. That was
Shut up. Goodness. Okay, so yeah, this kind of reminds me of the stuff that happened to Ross Ulbricht. His was a little more hands-on, and these guys, especially the Samurai Wallet people here, I'll bring up their website.
Who was the one that was just the last one at the table that got stuck with the check kind of problem?
That was Roman Sterling or Roman Storm.
Sucks.
No, Sterling off. Yeah, it was Sterling off who apparently didn't even create it, but was just a user of it.
That's Sterling.
That's insane.
Which under law, it is not illegal to use these mixers. It's illegal to do illegal things with the mixers.
Right, because it's illegal to
but
do.
It's not illegal
already,
in and of its own, just to use them.
Yeah. Yep. And so he's in prison. The Samurai Wallet guys are in prison for.
So there is an O in there spelling. Okay.
Yeah, there is an
that's
O.
The correct spelling.
But there's also an A.
There's also an A.
Yes, that's the correct spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in prison for 4 years and 5 years apiece. Ian Freeman's in prison, and
that is
Roman
just
Storm.
the worst name to have if you are in prison. That's
Freeman.
that's
To be
cool and
fair,
unusual.
that's probably. I don't think it's his birth last name. He was a host of Free Talk Live. And
Oh,
I'm guessing
okay.
That's a name he adopted. I would.
Well,
think.
then he set his own fate. That's even weirder.
Or the opposite, he named it because of what his name is. That's what I've done with stuff, including Liberty Libations.
Your name's Liberty?
No, his name's Jake Libations.
So yeah, the point of this is that like all these people did was create something that helped people's privacy. They didn't actually do anything illegal. There's no laws written against anything that they did. They were prosecuted as a financial transactions.
Even
though they weren't
handling money at all.
And as Angela said, they sought guidance from the specific regulatory agencies there, who said, look, if you're not touching the money, if it's not flowing through you, and you just write software that goes out and does its thing, you're not touching the money. You don't need a money transmitter license. But the Southern District of New York, the same district that prosecuted Ross Ulbricht, decided that yeah, you do, and they did what the feds do to get their conviction rates. They hammer you with a shit ton of charges. They stack it up and go, okay, you're going to plead to this and take this, or you're getting 50 years. Maybe not 50, but like 20 years. So take 5 or take 20, because if it goes to trial, we're going to say this and that. And hey, you want to gamble like that, or you want to just take this lower one, you'll be home sooner.
Yeah.
It's insane how much it's so obvious, like when you see the whole picture of what's going on and how hard they throw the book at people that don't even have like actual laws written against what they did or whatever. It's because they want to be able to track what you do and where you spend your money and what you do with your money so badly. It's pretty ugly.
Yeah, it really is. So but if you feel compelled, go to cryptoprisoners.com and you can make a donation to help their legal funds. They were appealing it. They were trying to appeal it. They've already spent $2 million on appeals, and it was going to cost another $4 million to do an appeal, and they had to stop their appeals. So they're trying to re-raise funds for the appeal portion. So if you feel compelled, you can donate in any of those cryptocurrencies. I think you can also donate in cash, but you can also help in a bunch of ways. So cryptoprisoners.com. What's up, Nick?
But also anyone who's going to be at the National Libertarian Convention this upcoming month. What is it? Thursday night there. Thursday, I believe it's the 21st. There is the Bitcoin Ball, MisesBitcoinBall.com. Lauren Rodriguez, Keone Rodriguez's wife from there, is going to be in attendance and speaking. Lynn Ulbricht, Roswell Ulbricht's mother, will be there. Pubkey, the famous Bitcoin bar in New York, is a co-host on it.
There you go. There it is. Thursday, May 21st, 2026. I will be there. Nick, are you going to be up there?
I will absolutely be there. I think I think there are links for delegates to get a discount to entry. There is a fee to get in, but also my understanding is there may be politicians there as well to put some pressure on.
Good. I love it. Yeah.
So,
there's the speaker.
Tor Eklund's a name I know. I can't remember exactly about him, but he's a name I know. But Lynn Ulbricht.
Why do I know Tor Eklund?
It's a name that's known. I'm not familiar with Michael Hass.
And why when I click on it, it just goes back to the top?
Good question. But yeah, come out if you're gonna be there. If you need to reach out to, I believe there's going to be discounts sent out to delegates or to attend, but regardless, they're come out and
yes,
good speakers. It's going to be a good event. Good co-host. The Michigan Bitcoin whatever council there, and Pubkey, the famous bar in New York, and I think they've got one in DC now too.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, we've got it's good co-sponsors, so it's a good Bitcoin event to come out and meet people in the group and support. Samurai, especially since Keone Rodriguez's wife will be there.
And Zane, you could probably bring your cash and buy Bitcoin anonymously from somebody there. So that's another easy way to do it. So there you go. All right, y'all. I think it's trivia time. What do y'all think? Yeah, we're doing it. All right, take it away, Zane.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another week of Libations Trivia. As usual, we have trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1 is 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2 is 6 questions, 2 points each. And round 3 is 4 questions, 3 points each. If you are in the audience, please leave a comment with your answer. And the first answer that is not obviously a joke will be counted as the audience answer. I suppose we should probably wait for Alden to get back from what I can only assume.
He's going to get it wrong anyway. Let's just start.
Just do the first one, and we'll just pause in the middle of the question.
All right. Tonight's categories. Round 1, The Price is Right. Round 2, the 2026 NFL Draft. And round 3, Fine Art.
And the point. Anyway.
All right. Round 1, The Price is Right.
Oh, boy.
So I was inspired to write this category by that guy who was like the soldier on the team that kidnapped Maduro, but before he did the mission, he placed like a $10,000 bet on Polymarket or something.
Yeah.
That Maduro was going to be ousted in a certain period of time, and now he's in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah, he got indicted for that shit.
Yes, he did. He won $400K.
Hey. Honestly, I'd probably do the same thing. There's no regulation on those markets, so.
Yep. Go ahead, Zane.
So I have 8 Polymarket tabs pulled up here on my other screen.
Love it.
And so we're going to do some Price is Right rules. I have 8 shares that you can buy on Polymarket right now. You're all going to give me what you think that they cost. Price is Right rules, so closest without going over.
Price for a single share.
How much does it cost to buy a single share of each of these products on Polymarket right now?
Let's do it.
Question 1. Gavin Newsom will be the Democratic nominee for president in 2028.
What is the question?
Oh, did you miss all the instructions?
Yeah, I guess.
Explain it one more time.
I thought it was just gonna be fucking trivia.
It is trivia.
Okay.
God damn it.
Okay, so round 1, I have 8 different event contracts that you can buy on Polymarket right now, and you're gonna tell me how much you think all of these cost right now. Price is Right rules. Closest without going over gets the point. So right now on Polymarket, how much does it cost to buy 1 share of Gavin Newsom will be the Democratic nominee for president?
Oh. As a bet, like for okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought these were 2 separate things. I was expecting to guess like stock share prices or something. Okay.
And you said Price is Right rules.
Yeah. So you can't go over.
You can't go over. Oh, is that what that means? I don't watch that. So no busting?
Yeah, if you bust,
No
you're
busting.
out. You get it wrong.
Okay.
And I will change up the order where because I know on Price is Right you really want to go last, so you can screw over everyone who went before you. But I suppose if you all promise not to change
I'm not gonna. No one's gonna change their.
Yeah, that's why we. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Like, I can hold this. I'll do the back of my board and then turn if you want to fucking be real about it. Like,
I'm right. Mine are written in Sharpie, so.
All right.
I tattooed it on my app.
Jake, go for it.
31 cents.
Oh
Alden.
God. Oh Jesus. Oh, I put 14, but I didn't say dollars or cents. I don't know how these go. I was gonna say dollars if I'm just being honest. So.
Nick.
I said 42.87.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm in the middle.
I have no idea how Polymarket works on this.
I don't either.
Okay, I guess I should have clarified that the price of every contract is between 0 cents and $1.
Oh well, that would have been nice to fucking know.
Can we redo that since?
Yeah,
so sorry. I thought that this was common knowledge.
No,
but Nick,
Alden and Nick, pick a new number.
I'm gonna stick with my same number, but it'll just be cents.
Deal.
How's that? That's the
Sticking
fairest
with the
thing we
same
can do
number.
for this one.
All right. Nick says 42 cents.
Yes,
the
I'm
audience says
definitely
$4, which
moved
I would
the
also let them change their answer if they get to
Theirs
it
is
in
4
the next 5
cents now,
seconds.
There we go. All right.
But they probably won't.
All right. So what's the answer?
The answer is 27 cents.
Oh,
so
dadgummit.
Alden gets the point.
Hey.
Good job, Alden.
Okay, see, now that you clarified how it works, I know where to go.
Yeah, I've never used Polymarket. It sounds like a Pokemon or something.
I looked up Polymarket 10 seconds into this just to make sure I knew what I was doing.
I was making a sangria 10 seconds into that, so.
Fair enough. All right.
Question 2. Tucker Carlson will be the Republican nominee for president in 2028.
Has he said anything about running for anything ever?
He's
I mean,
not-
I guess he can't answer that now. Right?
Yeah, he's never been the guy who says he's going to run because he won't. But God, he'd be good.
Just give me Massey, for goodness sake.
I wouldn't trust him.
I'm ready.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, Jake.
7 cents.
Alden.
I didn't denote cents, but I think we understand now that it's 69 cents.
Nick.
In accordance with Jake, I am saying 6 cents.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Audience says 17 cents. The price of this share right now is 6.2 cents.
No freaking way. You've got to be kidding me.
Who got that?
Nick got it.
That's me.
I went over by 0.8 cents.
You went over. Oh, that's right. You can't go over.
But I was still closer, even if we could.
That is unbelievable.
Oh man! Wow. Well, I was way off.
Question 3.
Samsonite. I was way
Thomas Massey will defeat Ed Gallarain in the 2026 Kentucky 4th District Republican primary.
Does this go if something is more likely to fucking happen? Aren't the shares
higher?
Less? Oh, I
Higher.
thought this was
So the rules
no,
of Polymarket are that if you buy a share of an event and you're right, you get $1.
I didn't know that fucking either. So I thought in the last one I went higher because I thought it would be less likely to happen.
No,
so
higher
shares
is more
should be
likely to
fucking
happen.
More,
Yeah.
right? Because
Higher is more likely to
Okay,
happen.
so this is like the percentage you think it's going to happen.
It's literally a percentage. It's
Okay.
What percentage?
It's
do you think
actually
is gonna
not
happen?
literally a percentage because there's also Polymarket takes a little bit of a vig on top. So if you
Well, of course I
add
take a vig.
if you add the price of
All right, I muted.
But
Zane.
thank you, Jake, because outside of Zane saying,
Of course,
I
the market
understand.
maker's taking a vig. That's how this.
So
shit
It's
works.
basically a percentage.
Okay.
Just
okay.
use generalizations and don't be specific,
Yeah.
Zane.
I went the opposite.
Nerd.
Westboro.
Can't believe you were cool in high school.
Okay.
I
Now
wasn't.
that
I wasn't cool in high school, but
No. Oh my god.
you should have been on my level.
It was cool to hate me in school. That was just cool.
Go ahead, Zane.
all right, Jake,
57 cents.
Alden,
69.
Nick.
I'm
Gonna keep
rolling
going.
with Alden on this and saying 68.
Oh, that's
Because I knew it was up in the 60s before, and then
Stop talking. This is going to take forever for us to get through. Let's go.
All right, the price of this share on Polymarket is currently 73 cents.
Yes.
That's after it was exposed that Ed Gowring's just fucking milking the system.
People like milk.
I mean, he's literally on 100% disability and getting and also taking and also working his farm at the same time. So
that makes sense.
What did I just say about talking?
All right. Question
I will
4.
talk if I need to, Jake.
You're going to get kicked.
A Democrat will be elected governor of Georgia in 2026.
I'm going just gut on all these. I'm good to
That's
go.
all I go off of. It's not like I go on Polymarket. I'm not a degenerate.
Robinhood has a bunch of these event contracts now too, which I think is terrible for your average finance bro who can now convince themselves that sports betting is actually investing. All right, Jake.
18 cents.
Alden.
47. I went probably way too high.
Nick.
2.
The
George
price
not
of
going
this
down.
share, unfortunately for me, is 64 cents.
No way. Really?
That's retarded.
Look, I don't agree with 90% of the stuff Kemp does, but it's better than 100% of the stuff that Abrams would have done. So,
Yeah,
well,
who likes
the
Stacey
nominee
Abrams?
is probably not going to be Stacey Abrams. According
but
to
it's going to be a
Polymarket-
Stacey Abrams like.
To be fair, Zane, Alden will also have to suffer the consequences if that's the case. But there's no
According to
chance.
Polymarket,
Georgia's
it's
going.
most likely to be Keisha Lance Bottoms, former mayor of Atlanta.
Oh, that might be
No
worse than Stacey Abrams.
way. That's how.
I mean, her name
That is retarded.
I thought Georgia was doing pretty good right now, but whatever.
I might have to leave.
You have to go back across the border, Alden.
I might have to go.
Y'all, the more we talk, the less we get to talk about Cole Allen.
All right. Question 5. The Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 0 times in 2026.
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
1 cent.
Alden.
I said 17 cents.
Nick.
And in the habit of being close to someone else, I said 15 cents.
The price of this share right now is 57.3 cents.
What?
No.
What is the audience saying? Are they saying any numbers?
The audience has been putting in guesses, but they've all not been winning.
It's going to be hard to differentiate question to question answers with the audience with lag because as they come in. You know what I mean? Like
Zane knows what
I'm
he's
seeing
doing.
them
Zane gets
come in well enough that I don't think I've missed any.
because usually it's like, oh, that's the guess of some king. That's not clearly not toward the like what's in this pie question. You know, like where it's really different. Anyway.
Question 6. The Iranian regime will fall during 2026.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What does that even mean, though?
I can answer that.
Don't answer it.
In 2 minutes or less.
This market will resolve to yes if the Islamic Republic of Iran's current ruling regime is overthrown, collapsed, or otherwise ceases to govern by December 31st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. This requires a broad consensus of reporting indicating that core structures of the Islamic Republic, such as the Office of the Supreme Leader, the Guardian Council, IRGC control under clerical authority, have been dissolved, incapacitated, or replaced by a fundamentally different governing system or otherwise lost de facto power over a majority of the population of Iran. This could occur via revolution, civil war, military coup, or voluntary abdication. But only qualifies if the Islamic Republic no longer exercises sovereign power.
We get it. Go.
Jake.
53 cents.
Alden.
32 cents.
Nick.
64 cents.
Low end this time.
The audience says my guess is the same as whatever year the Shah was overthrown, which I will take it
That's funny.
as a guess of 79 cents.
That's actually a funny way to answer. I like their style, yeah.
Another audience guess is people are stupid, so 40 cents. This share currently costs
32 cents.
This share currently costs 21 cents, so no one gets any points.
No one gets any points.
Wow.
Because we went over. We all went over.
I should have guessed a cent. Okay.
I thought I was like in the safe-ish margin of like in the third, you know.
My feelings on current events are way off of the general feelings.
You know what though? I guess it's a good thing that it's less likely in terms of the perceived outcome.
No, Alden, what's going to happen is it's going to be more like our guesses.
So
they're all wrong.
So the average person just doesn't. Okay, well, that's actually an interesting thing. If we are,
which means buy it. Which means you better go buy it.
Yeah, actually,
I was concerned enough to go 1 and 3. Anyway, let's go on. But
yeah.
Question 7. Mr. Beast will say the word influencer in his next YouTube video.
For a second, when I just heard Mr. Beast and say the word, I thought you were going to say N-word, but
Mr. Beast will say the N-word.
Which that'd be a hilarious bet. But...
All right. We're good.
Jake.
20 cents.
Alden.
57. I don't watch
Nick.
any Mr. Beast, so I have no idea what.
Me too.
I'm saying 67 cents.
All right. The volume on this one is pretty low. So the spread between the pure probability and the cost is pretty high. It's saying that there's a 10% chance of this, but a share of it costs 15 cents.
Okay, so way high.
So Nick gets the point.
I thought this would be like a thing that if he was
I said 67, Zane. I said
67.
Oh, I thought you
Not
said 6.7 cents.
No.
Oh.
I figured
Well,
it
in
would
that
be.
case, no one
I
gets
thought it would be a higher probability on.
I don't know anything about his videos, so
I don't either. I watch Beast Games, but that's pretty much it for that.
Do you ever just like log into YouTube, like, or not log in, but just like go to the website and you're not logged in? Then his shit is like all over it. He's like the default YouTube video.
He's one of the biggest YouTube channels on earth.
But once you get going on like your algorithm or whatever, I never see him ever on my shit because it's like, I don't know, is this reviewing a new Red Dot? Like, then you're not going to want to watch this, or whatever.
All right. Question 8. The United States government confirms that aliens exist in 2026.
Fuck. Have they not already, basically? But
have not explicitly.
This market will resolve to yes if the President of the United States, any member of the Cabinet of the United States, any member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, or any U.S. federal agency definitively states that extraterrestrial life or technology exists by December 31st, 2026.
Okay. What do we got?
Jake?
3 cents.
Alden?
Oh, shit. I went right down the middle. I just did 50. I don't know.
No.
Nick?
I said 17.
I went way too high, probably.
Alden's so optimistic.
No, I think that I just am reading the tea leaves a little bit with what's been coming out. I don't know if it'll be 2026. I think it'll probably be later. But
Well, this share currently costs 19 cents.
that's higher than what some of you guys were saying.
I got none right. I got none.
If
I got
that's
28,
28, I'd have gone even higher, I think. But
All right, what's the total? Because I got 2 in that. 2 out of 8.
All right, at the end of round 1, Alden has 4, Nick has 2.
This is the first time Alden's been the winner of anything, I think.
and I don't even know what this is.
Are you writing your answers on a cup?
It looks like a hotel coffee cup. Yeah.
Have you not been noticing this, Zane?
That's awesome, actually.
Nice.
Hey, it's resourceful, you know.
Yep.
All right, round 2, the 2026 NFL Draft.
I'm F tier. Alden might be better at this.
Fuck,
than
I
me.
didn't watch any of those.
Which took place down Pittsburgh on North Shore in Point Park and that.
Screw Pittsburgh.
I don't know.
They was eating permanis and that down there.
Oh my god.
Question 1. Drafted first overall to the Las Vegas Raiders, was what national champion quarterback and LinkedIn aficionado?
You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
LinkedIn aficionado? What the fuck does... Who wants to be...
It's pretty funny. He's listed on LinkedIn. Like, he has a profile on LinkedIn, and he's a
Like,
quarterback.
hire me, I'm a quarterback on LinkedIn? Like,
Wasn't he doing some internships or something?
I don't know. But
Like
I
some
cannot
actual-
remember his name at this exact moment because I was
Sucks.
drinking on an empty dadgum stomach.
So am I, but I at least remember his name.
Shut
All right,
up, Nick.
Go for it.
Me?
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza.
Alden.
penis breath.
Jake.
Indiana Hoosiers QB.
Yeah.
That's what his name is.
Correct.
Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of the loop.
No, I know one name from the draft.
Question 2.
I know a bunch.
Who was the only other quarterback to be taken in the first round, drafted 13th by the Los Angeles Rams?
Shit, I actually know this too, I think.
I saw the article on this because
Because it was retarded.
he's pissed that he has to compete with Stetson Bennett for the starting job.
No,
It's
this is the Rams. It's
Stetson
Stafford.
Bennett.
Stafford.
No, Matt Stafford's still a starter, but
Okay,
Stetson
for
Bennett
the
is the other
backup,
like third
whatever.
string.
They
Nice.
have to
Starting
compete with
job as
Stetson
soon
Bennett.
as Stafford breaks his spine or whatever.
I'm still not sure if Stetson Bennett has played a single snap in the
Nope,
NFL.
he
I'm
hasn't.
pretty sure he hasn't.
I have him on my taxi squad in my dynasty league.
That may have been a mistake.
Well, you get to keep him for a couple of years on the taxi. He's not on my roster right now. He's on my taxi squad.
Yeah, he has no NFL stats.
No.
But he's been on the active roster every year since he was drafted, so... All right, Nick,
Ty Simpson.
Alden,
Jackie Chan.
Jake.
Prideful white boy.
It is prideful white boy Ty Simpson.
Oh, God. I had a lead going in, and then it was sports, and I'm like, fuck.
Dude, you know football. That's the funny
Not,
thing.
I know.
Of all the people in our league to not watch the draft and not know anything about this, I would have expected you.
I do research on it right before our fantasy draft, so I don't watch live the actual NFL draft.
Fair enough.
Question 3. Drafted fourth to the Tennessee Titans, what Ohio State wide receiver will now be catching passes from last year's first overall pick, Cam Ward?
Yeah, but that implies that there's going to be a pass worth catching. So I don't know if that's actually a valid statement for this question.
At least in practice, he probably will be.
We hope. I'm just gonna keep saying Jackie Chan.
I actually know this one, so that's fun.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nick,
some black guy.
Alden.
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. Your mom.
Jake.
It's Carnell Tate.
It is some black guy, Carnell.
Who is also your mom?
Question 4. Name any of the other 3 Ohio State players who were drafted in the first round at picks 5, 7, and 11.
What's his freaking face?
I don't even recognize Ohio as existing. How do you expect me to answer this?
Their freaking safety. What is his dadgum name?
Can't you ask questions about it being in Pittsburgh and that?
No,
Yeah, Troy Polamalu.
that would have
That
been
would've
too
been Pittsburgh,
obvious.
That's the only safety I can name right now.
Cowboys drafted him. That's the only reason I know this one.
Nick.
Then he's gonna break his femur.
Some other black guy.
Oh,
No, he's gonna be a superstar, and then we're gonna trade him.
Alden.
My cat. That's who I think.
Jake.
Caleb Downs.
Oh, I actually know that name.
Your options here were Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, or Caleb Downs.
I didn't get it or anything, but I want it known that I recognize the name Caleb Downs. That's the
I
closest
don't recognize the name Arvell Reese.
Did he make like peanut butter cups or something? Like, I feel like he's famous for something else.
All 3 fall into the category of some other black guy, right?
I think so.
That would be a safer bet.
Question 5. In a change from prior years, the amount of time allotted to make each first round selection was reduced to how many minutes?
Is this a closest or is this a who busts thing or?
I mean, there's only so many options here, so you've got to get it exactly right.
Well, then fuck you. I don't know.
It was
exactly right.
I know this because I read it somewhere, but I can't remember where it started to. Whatever.
Because they did some time analysis. I think the first round last year took like 5.5 hours, and this year it took like 58 minutes or something like that.
That's some serious analysis.
That was analysis.
Yeah. Well, they denoted it.
You calling me?
Yeah.
I think it's 8 minutes. I think they dropped.
That feels crazy fast. Did you say the first round?
First round. Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I thought maybe it was a 10.
No,
minutes.
I think you're right, Nick. That's what I put.
Alden.
What? I was gonna say like 30 minutes or something. I feel like 8.
No, I couldn't remember if it started if it was previously 15 or 10, but they dropped.
Oh well, I don't. Whatever. I don't. I've already said I don't fucking know. So
I mean, teams were coming in well before the deadline on this stuff. So.
Yep.
The time was reduced from 10 minutes down to 8 minutes.
Oh, I'm glad 30 was on the tables in 1955 when they still gave people time. I don't know.
But they only drafted one person.
Yeah.
No, the NFL draft used to be like 15 rounds. It used to be they would draft a crazy number of people.
Well, like the D1 wasn't a thing, so like it was any college, and you could just like start grabbing people from anywhere.
You could literally draft people that didn't even know that you were going to draft them.
Just go to a farm and just
let's
grab the most disgruntled farm boy and be like, "You play football now, like it's fine."
All right. Question 6. In the 7th round, what team drafted Nigerian defensive tackle UR Bernard, a participant in the International Player Pathway? This team previously drafted Jordan Mailata from the same program, and even though Bernard has never played a snap of organized football in his life, General Manager Howie Roseman was still interested due to his exceptional athleticism.
This just sounds like something this team would do.
I bet we're picking the same team.
Apparently this guy is like over 200 pounds, but like 9% body fat.
200 pounds for a defensive tackle is tiny.
9% is hard to
You'd have to be over 300 pounds at defensive tackle.
I was going to say
this guy's stats again.
Yeah, 300 pounds would make more sense to be crazy.
It would 300.
Okay, right. So he's 306 pounds, 6% body fat.
6 is insane.
Wow.
That's like Olympic runner level body fat. That's crazy.
I gotta see a picture of this dude.
He's me if I was.
That's
if I lost.
Gonna be gross. You'll see every vein in his body. Like,
let's do it. I want to see him. I want to see everyone. Let's go, Zane.
Nick.
This sounds like something that the Jets would do.
That's a fair one. That's not what I picked, but yeah.
Alden.
I feel I didn't write it because my cat's on my lap now, but I feel like the Browns might pull this one.
There's the Jets and Browns in my mind. Yes.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons.
That was my other one. I was either
that?
gonna say that's so funny. Browns, Raiders, or Falcons were my 3 that I was thinking.
Hilarious.
Well,
it was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, okay, all right.
Whoa.
Okay. I didn't see that one. I thought it would be one of the usual suspects, where they just go after.
Surprising.
They're like, this person just got out of jail for murdering 3 people, but he's strong. And
that's
it's
the Cowboys.
The Browns. Oh, the Cowboys.
Yeah. When you play for the Raiders, you go to jail after getting drafted.
At one point, the Cowboys had as many people who had been to prison on the starting lineup as they had people who hadn't been to prison.
That's such an interesting stat. Not one maybe worth bragging about, but
Jerry Jones from the Placie organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're not.
All right. At the end of round 2, we've got Alden was 4, Jake was 6, and Nick was 8.
I still at 4.
And where's the audience in all this?
Audience still has a big goose egg.
Hey.
That's off. That's not.
They can still win though. That's the sad thing.
Yeah. They probably will.
All right.
It all comes down to how well you all know fine art.
I studied it, so I'll probably do terribly.
Agreed, Alden.
Yeah.
Question 1. What is the name of this fresco completed by Raphael in 1511? For our audio listeners, we've got a bunch of people in some fancy robes standing around talking to each other.
Where is this
Pretty
fresco
nice-looking
at?
building. It's in the Vatican.
I remember one word from it. Does one word get me any points?
No.
What?
Actually, if you get one word of the painting right, then I'll give you 1 point.
Okay.
Jake?
Is it the Market of Athens?
Alden?
Orgy on the steps of the Vatican.
Nick?
I don't know. Money changers?
Jake gets a point. It is the School of Athens.
Oh! School of Athens.
The Orgy of Athens?
That's afterwards. That was a later painting that he did.
Oh yeah, that was the
Because
in the
those-
bathhouse. That's not
Because
in the bathhouse.
because in Athens those were done with little boys.
Right.
Yeah, I'm coming up.
Question 2. What is the English translation of the text in this 1929 painting by Rene Magritte? And we've got here in French, Ceci n'est pas une pipe.
I know I got some of this.
Suck on my pipe.
Got it. Nailed it. Please pass the pipe.
Nick.
Pleasure is in the pipe.
It is for you.
That's right.
The audience has finally left another answer, and this time it is correct. It means this is not a pipe.
Well, I got pipe.
Well, I don't speak.
I did too.
I got is and pipe and a.
Do I get a point for getting one word like Jake's previous fucking?
No. Everyone got the one word.
Yeah, I know.
I don't speak frog, so
I speak whale.
All right, question 3.
Coming handy.
A Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte, an 1886 work of Georges Seurat, is a classic example of what technique in which paint is applied in small dots?
Stop talking. Oh my god.
Alden's gonna forget it.
No. I mean, like, you're giving away a lot of information.
yeah, that was enough for me to make a guess.
Shut up, Nick.
You're
not even in this question.
Yeah.
This isn't for you. This is for me and Alden. I'll prove it later.
I'll prove it. You got jammed.
All right, Jake.
Pointillism.
Alden.
Pointillism or stippling.
Nick.
Stippling's a good one.
Pointillism.
Yeah, I
also
wish you
has
didn't
it.
say
It is pointillism.
made of dots.
Yeah, if you didn't say that, I wouldn't have. It would have been.
See,
horrible.
because I actually know that painting, and I
Me
would've-
too. I love that painting.
Yeah, I would have actually got that without it, but
I follow an artist who does pointillism on Instagram. It's her stuff is unbelievable.
that's when some of my early work I started with pointillism.
She spends like years on one painting. It's unreal.
It can be ridiculous. I got into it because my dad did it, and I watched him spend years on a painting or a piece or whatever. But anyway,
All right, question 4. What river is being crossed in this 1859 painting by Emmanuel Lutze?
I was recently near this area.
If the three of us on this show about liberty,
we'll all get it,
as well as the entire audience doesn't get this.
it's gonna negate. We're all
Don't
gonna
show
get it.
up next week.
It's the Nile. We all know it. George Washington
Jake.
crossed the Nile.
The Delaware.
I love that you're on the bottom of the cup now. Yeah, it's the Nile.
It's
Nick.
Delaware, which is just like mere miles, and we did have an event there that I didn't go to during the LPPA convention back in March. So at the
Wasn't this
crossing,
on Christmas or whatever?
yeah, to go murk some Hessians.
Mark 'em. Let's go.
It is Washington crossing the Delaware, of course.
You're darn tootin' right it is.
Which means at the end of trivia, we have audience coming in last with 6.
That's a rare occurrence.
Alden with 10, Jake with 13, and our winner tonight is Nick with 14.
So I literally would have won if you didn't say a painting comprised of fucking a bunch of dots, Zane.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yep. If you didn't say dots, I probably would have thought of something different to say.
All right.
You know what? I need another drink. I'm done.
No, Alden. No. This topic is literally for Alden. We have to be out of here very soon. 17 minutes. So we're gonna wait for him to get back so that he can hear this.
17 minutes, 13 minutes would be 10 o'clock.
Well, I generally do 2
be
hours.
out at exactly 10:04.
No, it's now 16 minutes because we've been going for 1 hour and 44 minutes.
Well, we go over all the time. The audience loves
I
it. They
have
love,
stuff to do tonight.
they love bonus libations.
What could you possibly have to do? Go to the hotel pool?
No. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm in my home city. You little twit.
There ain't
I'm
nothing
gonna
to
go
do in
out.
Dallas.
It's gonna be great.
I've been there before. There ain't nothing to do there.
Dude, the nightlife in Dallas is like that and the food are the only reason to come to Dallas. Because you don't want to come here for the sports anymore.
I missed the first one.
I went to where Kennedy was assassinated, and that was about it. And I kept driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Alden. This one is for you, me, and Nick. Zane is not going to partake very much in this one. I can already tell you right.
Oh, I don't know.
Although to be fair,
surprise you.
Alden is the only person here who hasn't been at the location where this happened.
That's true. Oh, that is true. That's so funny. All right, here we go.
Traveler may have infiltrated the White House. This one's gonna get you, trust me. A random X account created in December 2023 has just one single tweet ever posted that very same month. That tweet being just the name Cole Allen. The exact name of the suspected White House shooter that was apprehended during the Correspondents' Dinner in the Washington Hilton on April 25th, 2026. And that's not even the crazy part. This is where it gets absolutely wild. Because the name of the account that posted this is Henry Martinez, an engineer who worked at Lockheed Martin developing the Orion spacecraft, so he was dealing with some highly classified, super high-tech stuff on a regular basis. Cole Allen, the suspected shooter, actually interned at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in 2014, the same year in which NASA published a research paper out of Goddard Space Flight Center in which Lockheed Martin's Henry Martinez was the primary author of. He co-authored this paper for NASA the same year that Cole Allen worked at NASA, and then 9 years later he randomly tweets his name with no context. Now, Henry Martinez's X account also has this cryptic banner on top that comes from a website called, get ready for this, Time Machine. And the image is said to hold a striking resemblance to a certain event that happened in 2024. Yeah, that. Everyone online is going crazy about this, some even claiming they can't unsee it. The original image was created in 2021, and that Butler, Pennsylvania attempt happened 3 years later in 2024. Now, a year earlier in 2023, that same image was used as a cover photo by an artist named Chocolate for a song called Four Chargers. 4, like the number of people in the photo it supposedly represents. Henry Martinez hasn't made any other posts since, and in fact hasn't even been heard of since, leading many to believe that he's another one of those missing scientists, and don't worry, I'll be talking about that very soon. His profile pic is internet meme Pepe the Frog wearing a tux and drinking wine from a glass, and well, yeah, okay, that one's kind of reaching. But it is rather odd that world-famous mentalist Oz Perlman was performing some sort of magic trick to Trump and Melania just seconds before the shots were fired. And a day before the incident, there was allegedly a spike in search terms for the full name of the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, coming out of Iran, which Google has since scrubbed and removed. For argument's sake, let's just say these are fake. But a photo of Cole Allen has also resurfaced of him wearing an IDF suit from Israel. And more Google search trends of his name spiked just a day before the incident, also out of Israel, which is totally fake and not real. Don't look at that. Now, the theory is that Henry Martinez was working on classified projects at Lockheed involving UAP propulsion and, well, time travel, which is why he disappeared just shortly after tweeting the name of the shooter back in 2023, dropping us a little hint of this incident that was going to happen 3 years later. But what do you think? Why is it that every bit of news that drops these days always seems to have some sort of conspiracy theory that kind of feels, I don't know, somewhat plausible? A time...
Oh, wow. There's a lot there to go after.
I want to hear from Alden first before anybody else.
I mean, I don't know a lot about this one yet because I'm always behind on things. I take my time with things.
Fair.
So I would say that I've just heard some of the same little rumblings about it, and I haven't verified a lot. But I did see the picture of him with the, what is it, IDF shirt or whatever it was, which that's, as long as that's not AI or whatever, I mean, if that's a real photo of him, why the fuck are you? That's pretty damn, I don't know. And then the trend of just the fucking Google searching the name coming out of Israel before, I don't know what he said about that being fake or whatever, but I did see that come up. And again, I've not verified that one yet or whatever, but if that's real, that's troubling. Because why the fuck would that spike all of a sudden before?
No, that actually happened. That's been reported by multiple outlets.
Oh, okay.
There's always a spike right before coming out of Israel.
Yeah, I know.
That's so many. Yeah, it's weird, but every time you see something big, anytime something happens, if you go look for some reason a day or two before that name spikes out of Israel.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah. He said in this video, ignore that. I didn't know if that was tongue in cheek or if that, or whatever, but
Cheddar Cheese says, I also worked on the Orion spacecraft project. Didn't get to learn about time travel. WTF?
You were working on the wrong part of the spacecraft.
You clearly were not trusted.
Yeah,
Cheddar
they
Cheese.
don't let forklift operators know about this. Yeah.
Way to insult one of our favorite members of our audience, Alden.
No, I'm
reducing him to
I don't know
only-
what they do. I'm totally kidding. But no, just in general, any fucking time, there's an assassination attempt on a high profile individual, especially the president or whatever. I just am like, I fucking would 99 would be my sense guess on the bet of was it a goddamn plant by the fucking our/Israel same thing government, like 99% chance.
Dude, so I wasn't always like that, but I'm turning into that. Like the more that comes out
Welcome to
about
the dark side, brother.
the more that comes out about the Butler shooting with the flag and him fight.
Yeah.
The
Thank
more
you.
the
It's
more
bullshit.
I'm like, this was all planned. Like
Charlie Kirk.
this is
fucking-
ridiculous, dude. The Charlie Kirk thing's wild.
It's
I want to wait.
insane.
I want to talk about that. We'll do a whole episode on that in the future. When
The
more
president,
comes out.
Charlie Kirk, fucking, I don't care. Like, it just go down the list of things. JFK, obviously, or whatever. Like,
Cheddar says, "Hey, I was an engineering intern. Okay, don't disparage forklift operators." Like,
At least they let an intern run a forklift. It took me a while.
the backbone of America.
okay, so before we played that, Zane said, "I might be surprised by what he has to say." So Zane,
I'm
what do you got to say, man? What are your thoughts on the whole Cole Allen thing?
Okay, so first I'll say something that you probably would expect me to say, which is he throws a little thing out there at the end, where it's like, how come it's the case every time we hear a news story like this, we see all of these little things that just seem like they point in the direction of a conspiracy?
Yeah,
and I would posit that one possible explanation is that we've never had this level of internet autism.
Yes,
and so
I agree. The final statement I think was stupid. Like you can. If you really wanted to, you could make everything a conspiracy. So I don't agree with that last statement. But
why are tomatoes red? Conspiracy. Yeah.
But the thing that you might not expect me to say is that the more of this that starts happening at these really convenient times, like we just know that it's a historical fact that false flags do happen, and so this really weird situation of like. How his security just happening to be that bad?
They left the doors open at this fucking
at a
place.
venue that famously hosts politicians all the time. And
wasn't Reagan
supposed,
attempted assassination at the same place?
Yes.
They didn't fucking learn to shut their fucking doors.
And Donald Trump
was there
spoke
2 years ago.
Yeah, Donald Trump spoke there in front of us.
Yep.
Now,
so it's
only 6 libertarians tried to shoot at him. So it's an improvement.
Now the big question.
Just real quick.
Sorry, go ahead. Man.
So I'm not saying that I think it's likely that it was a false flag, but I think at this point, especially because we've got this really unpopular war that I'm sure he would like to change the news cycle. I'm just saying I think we have to admit the possibility of it at this point. And I know with the whole Butler thing, I still think it. I mean, wow! Unless we're just saying it, having a gunman do it so that it's supposed to hit your ear from that far away, I feel like
Also,
that
the
would be a
thing
pretty
you could
risky thing to
easily
engage
put
in.
A little charge behind and no one would see, and just go pop, and just make it look like a gunshot. I
don't mean to get us into that, but I'm still pretty sure that one was real. But I was listening to an episode. I am. Maybe
I've been saying the whole fucking time that I don't trust that one. So
I'm going to get into a different day.
I just didn't want to get lumped into we with that, but
we'll do it now.
Did I say we? I'm pretty sure I only said that I was I.
Okay, well, maybe my bad.
If I said we, I misspoke. I meant I. But last thing on the Charlie Kirk thing, I know this came up a couple of weeks ago on an episode that I wasn't on. And I would agree that we probably should talk about it again now that it's a more appropriate time. Like, I know you said that you hadn't gone into it originally as much as you would have because you were like, that I was like really big into it at the time. Like, and I do have to say, at that time, I thought that something really important was happening in the conservative movement broadly, and I didn't want to like ruin it by talking a bunch of stuff about how like it was actually this, that, or the other that assassinated him and not what everybody just thought, because I thought at that time the most important thing was to help everyone reflect on what did this moment mean for the country, like spiritually. And so I just wasn't interested in having the conversation about whether it was this guy or someone else.
I picked up on that. That's why I didn't get into it. Yeah.
But now I think it's actually much like a good time to have that conversation, because now we are currently in a war that the reason we weren't in the war 6 months ago was because Charlie Kirk is alive and now he's dead and we're in it. So I think this does raise the question, was the official narrative right, or should it be reevaluated?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll definitely dive into that one on a whole episode about it. I don't care. Like,
so a little bit of background here to dig into this. We have three of us, Zane, Jake, and myself, have been to this hotel, have stayed at this hotel, and
have fucked in the hotel.
Yes. So the room that the dinner was being held in is 2 floors under the lobby. It's down in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go down 1 floor, there is a back entrance that you can come in, and that is the floor. That's the floor where Trump spoke when we saw him. But this dinner was taking place a floor below, which is where the main convention room was held, down in the ballroom, down in the basement. I'm not sure. I've seen multiple things. I saw that he rushed the lobby, which would have put him 2 floors above. I've heard that he rushed security and ended up just outside the door of the ballroom.
You wouldn't hear. Sure. So you hear the gunshots in the video from inside the ballroom. I don't think you would hear that from 2 floors up.
Yeah. Well,
they're faint, but they're there. And so, like, I mean, yeah, the three of us have been there. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't get outside the room. Like, they're playing music. There's a lot of people talking. The walls are thick. You're in a basement. You're in, like, there's a lot of
Wi-Fi signal there.
There's no Wi-Fi signal there. Yeah. There's a lot of supporting structures that are much thicker in the basement. So there's a lot more sound insulation down there. I think I think he got right outside the ballroom. I don't think that it was the lobby, but I don't know.
It could have been upstairs. It could have been 1 floor up outside of that large hall where Trump spoke.
Yeah,
which was just up the steps too, and where they had security for that event. I'm not sure on that, and I was trying to picture it, place it by the pictures, but I can't remember exactly how the lobby looks. So there's that. A random Twitter account tweeting out a name that's fairly generic, Cole Allen. That I'm sure there's a bunch of random Twitter accounts that tweet random shit here and don't say anything else. The weird part of that is definitely the Henry Martinez with the Pepe meme.
With the Pepe meme, Henry Martinez, a name who worked with Cole Allen.
That's a question because Cole Allen worked in Denver and he worked at JPL.
So they had
JPL, so
they had video, like they had chats and stuff back then. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about a very large organization, so it's just odd that it's very odd. It's odd to say that. Yeah, odds are they never came across each other, right? He wasn't there long. He was like an intern or something, versus someone who's published as a scientist researcher there. But having that same name tweet that just randomly, multiple years after and multiple years before that is a very, very odd thing.
Hey, Zane, what are the poly market odds on that being a real scenario where that's, is it 1 cent or is it 99 cents? And did you just spill your drink onto your computer.
I didn't spill anything because it's already empty.
Your face of panic was palpable.
I was trying to look up earlier, like how many people in the United States have the name Cole Allen, and there are websites that tell you like how many people have a certain last name or first name, but I didn't come across any that tell you for combinations of first and last. You'd have to assume that it's a lot.
Well, with a name like Allen, I would say if you took the percentage of people who have the first name Cole and took that percentage of the people who have the last name Allen, you have a pretty good percentage.
You'd also have to include middle names and Coleman as well. So like it would go up pretty substantially. But even so, the odds of somebody named Henry Martinez tweeting that from two people who've worked at the same organization, like the number of things that coincide is
that's where it gets odd. That's where it gets odd.
Even if this were the case, like I still don't really know what it proves. Like, okay, two coworkers are working together, and one of them starts a Twitter account and just tweets out his coworker's name.
But it was 9 years after he worked there.
So
he worked there 2014, and then 9 years later, that account tweeted it out. So
I think,
how many people do you remember from 9 years ago you worked with?
Well, 9 years ago,
9 years ago, he was in preschool.
Graduated from high school.
He was in the Euro 9 years ago.
So how many people?
9 years ago, my parents weren't even married.
How many people from 9 years ago do you just tweet out their name randomly?
Like none.
Well,
maybe once in a while. If I'm
to just tweet out a name randomly is weird anyway. Like to just be like person.
Well, I know what I'm doing
not
tonight.
Tweet anything before or after.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's the weirdest thing to just be like, even if you were just like Oprah Winfrey, like it's weird. Like to just one name and that's all you do. Like this is fucking weird. Like
Oprah Winfrey. We gotta just start making accounts and just tweeting random names.
That's the thing is that like I can just like make an AI name generator that generates a name to create a Twitter account as and a name to tweet, and that's the only thing. And then eventually someone's gonna go, oh, this guy 150 years ago knew something was up.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up with I think as Trump's presidency ends, we will come back and do an entire episode on the assassination attempts of Donald Trump.
And it will be live from the Butler Farm Showgrounds.
Yes, it will. Let's do that. That'll be great. With American flags flying in the background, being lowered as we're talking, just like they did.
I think we just do it from the slanted roof.
And Secret Service members pushing cameramen toward angles of the flag too.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So it's my favorite time of the week. Let's do it.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, 19th or blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up. On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, the part of the show where we show somebody saying or doing something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not.
I just realized on our drunkard intro, we have recorded footage of Jim Carrey before his eye color magically changed. That's interesting.
Dude, don't even get me started on the Jim Carrey thing. Yeah. Well, Alden, you and me might have a side convo about that at some point.
That looked nothing like him. I'm sorry.
It doesn't. It's crazy.
Anyway, carry on.
You can nominate folks for Drunkard of the Week by tagging us on X or in the Discord, in our private Discord that you can join. Actually, it's not private. It's public Discord. You can join our public Discord now.
The good chats are still behind the paywall.
And the good chats are still behind the paywall. If you want to join the Hodler Media Club, you can do so by going to peacefulsea.network, and then you can join the private chats behind the scenes of our public Discord. So this week's winner is...
Situation recently, I was explaining that Bitcoin is a revolution fighting against a corrupt banking system And if Jerome Powell was here right now, I would smash his fucking teeth in. When I was told that my Uncle Frank's funeral was not the right place or time for that 10-hour speech. Now, my Uncle Frank may have died of cancer, but the real cancer is endless money printing. And that's what I screamed as I was dragged out of the funeral, ripping my favorite sleeveless hodl t-shirt, knocking over my PowerPoint projector, and then banning me from Uncle Frank's wake. Luckily, Uncle Frank's wake didn't have security. I was able to sneak in and finish explaining to Uncle Frank's wife the lesson that she just should have learned about scarcity. It is not a coincidence that now that there is 0 Uncle Franks, everyone wants him more. And if the government could just print Uncle Franks, then Uncle Frank would be worthless. Just like the fiat trash that Uncle Frank left his family in the will. Now, as I came to from being knocked unconscious from my central bank bootlicker cousin, I realized that I'm the only hodler in this whole fucking family. Probably what gave Uncle Frank cancer, leading to his demise. Now you're probably wondering what the moral of this story is. The moral is that you can lead a horse to Bitcoin, but what you cannot do is make Uncle Frank's paper hands grieving widow ape the fuck in. Let's go.
I want to be free to do what we want to do. Yeah. We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
Drunker of the week is comedian Ryan Long, who appeared at Bitcoin conference. His speech and his panel were absolutely hilarious. That dude is so stinking funny.
It's wild. I love it.
Yeah, go check out his YouTube channel. Dude is hilarious. And that speech, dude, I don't think all the Bitcoiners there knew who he was, because it was like 15% people were cracking up and the rest were like very confused as to what was going on, because before this it was a super serious talk about Bitcoin, and then right after it was a super serious talk about Bitcoin.
I feel like though I've seen clips of him and like his style is familiar to me like enough that like I feel like that's what he would like he just to like be like catch him off guard and then just like jump right into it. Like I don't know.
It was so
hilarious.
Just like the people in the know are thinking it's hilarious, and everyone else is like, "What am I watching?"
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
The turnover is hilarious there, though.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna watch a few funny videos before we get out of here. But head on over to peacefulseed.network. Check out our other shows. We just launched episode 2 of Cascade Effect. It's all about Fourth Amendment rights. It's a woman getting her Fourth Amendment rights severely violated, and she gets into massive legal trouble because she gets targeted by the authorities in Cascade County. So go check that out, because it's a very good episode, and it talks a lot about speaking up for your rights before they get taken away. So make sure you go do that. And yeah, we're going to be putting out some more interviews and content from this past week at Bitcoin conference. So there'll be a lot of Bitcoin content for the next few weeks. So enjoy that. And yeah,
and the
Zane?
half that you were able to get to, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, and before wrapping up, we're talking there. National Libertarian Convention's up. If anyone wants to make it out there, we talked about the Bitcoin ball. But there's also multiple other events. I believe Sunday night, I think, is the Enemy of the State Bash. But then Afro Man, which would be a perfect time to pitch Afro Man on, hey, you took down the Adams County Sheriff. Did you help me take down the Cascade County Sheriff?
I love it.
Yeah, he'd be like, yeah, let's do it. That is that cool.
I like this idea.
Other events, there's one night there's Rage Against the War Machine 3 with Scott Horton and Dan McKnight, and then another night you have Rally for the Republic with Brett Weinstein and friends.
Love it.
So there's going to be some crazy events to come out to if you're in the area or want to travel out there and come hang out with us, because we're going to be podcasting and stuff, right?
Yes, we are. We've got a booth. PLC Network has a booth at the event. We're going to be podcasting much of the day and far into the night. We've got some
wee hours of the morning.
We've got some unique merch that you can buy at the convention only. It's some sick merch that me and Nikki designed the past week, and it's gonna be
watch us be the next drunkard of the week.
I think that could happen.
We're the drunkard of each week, you know.
So yeah, if you're in Grand Rapids or you can make it to Grand Rapids, it's going to be a really good time. There's lots of events happening that weekend aside from the dumb business of the Libertarian National Party. There's phenomenal events happening that whole weekend where you can mingle with other like-minded folks, as well as you can come buy some Peaceful Sea Network merch, which is just worth the trip all by itself.
You can fulfill your life's mission of meeting Zane and hearing him talk about economic policy of the 1890s.
In person.
In person. Yeah.
In person.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
From his mouth hole to your ear.
All right, Joe. Head on over to peacefulseed.network to check that out. We're going to watch some funny videos, and then we're going to get out of here. So, all right. First up is Miss Erica Kirk.
Oh, no.
How is this real? This is real.
You just said is real. I hate her hat on her.
Dude,
the black lettering on black is
no.
Definitely
I don't mind
a
that.
statement.
But her wearing a freedom hat.
Yeah, I agree.
The more she's in the media, the more she seems like she's some sort of agent.
Yeah, dude, she's freaking me out, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's
bizarre. Freaking me out.
She's so fucking bizarre.
She's
All
a
right.
fucking honeypot.
This next one is less
A
funny
long-term
and more unreal. So we're gonna watch it.
You just said Israel and then unreal.
What?
Wow.
Where was this guy at the Olympics?
Dude, he wouldn't have beat that Australian lady.
For the breakdancing thing?
Yeah.
I feel like this is better than what I saw at the Olympics. To be fair, I've seen better breakdancing in Filipino home videos, but
I don't know. This dude's got some moves in there that just like look like he's floating. It's pretty wild.
no. This guy's cool. I mean, from the Olympics. Like,
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear anything Alden was saying, but
that's
here's our
usual. Yeah.
here's our next one. Here's a juggler.
Is he biting the apple or is he?
Yes.
He's eating the apples as he's juggling.
That's kind of brilliant. Holy shit.
What's most impressive about this is how fast he's managing to chew.
That is most impressive. Are they secretly spitting pieces of apple or are they actually consuming said apples? Because that is impressive. I'm actually
question.
terrified of this.
Good question. All right, final video of the evening. Here we go.
You want motivation? Shave your eyebrows. Shave them till you reach your goal. You want to be about it. Eyebrows are for women. You haven't done shit.
You haven't earned your eyebrows. Oh no,
dude! I love that. That's so.
Go
good.
shave my eyebrows now.
Seriously.
I mean, I could do this, but then I feel like I would look like Maynard James Keenan for like the next 20 years because I just don't get shit done.
Your eyebrows are pretty thin. I don't think you'd miss them too much.
Oh, burn! No one would even know the difference.
Oh goodness! All right, y'all. That'll be it for this evening. I gotta go do stuff. So appreciate everybody out there who's still on the stream. Make sure to tune in next week for more Liberty Libations. Go check out Peaceful Sea Network for all of our other shows, movies, documentaries, everything that's happening on the site. And nominate folks for Drunkard of the Week via X or via our Discord channel. Other than that, Zane, you got anything before we jump off?
Go to voteplacie.com.
There we go.
Elect Zane as soil and water lord.
Elect Zane as Lord of the Earth. There we go. All right, y'all. Peace.